Parm Saran is a licensed, registered nurse with nearly 30 years of experience. She specializes in mental health and is an advocate for removing the stigma around mental illness. She is a certified therapist, coach, and motivational speaker. She is a holistic nursepreneur helping thousands with her online program, Pain to Purpose. She believes in creating your own destiny and empowering yourself, helping people live life by design and not by default. She has a YouTube channel where she encourages people to choose faith over fear and speak out against bullying, stigma, abuse, and violence. Her best-selling book, Own Your Life, Create As You Go, has inspired many to live life to its fullest potential. Parm is a wife and a mother, and her everyday message, especially to women, is do it. Because your kids deserve a mother they can brag about. She believes you can change your story to change your life and inspires people to do the same. Parm's motive is to help people find their inner power and be the person they are meant to be. Please welcome a voice of change, Parm Saran, and get ready for her show, Grow Your Greatness.
Hello everyone, Sat Shri Akal, Namaste, good evening, good morning, Adab. I hope you all are doing great wherever you are. We all are aware that nowadays it's flu season and COVID hasn't gone away completely. Today I want to share with you some of my COVID experiences as a nurse. We know that COVID hit in 2020 and the whole world came to a halt. Everything kind of stopped, even planes. So many precious lives were lost. And as a nurse, I had the opportunity to work very closely with the public who were going through those challenges, those stresses, those overwhelming experiences. As human beings, all we need is love and kindness. Only two things, and the world can run smoothly. When I was working in COVID scenarios, I worked in drive-through testing centers where we were testing people while people were sitting in their cars. And I also worked in vaccine clinics where people were coming to get the COVID vaccines. So both scenarios were very stressful for the general public. And I had kind of different experiences in both of those scenarios. The first one, as I was working in drive-through test center, a lady came to get tested. She was going to see her mom into a nursing home. At that time, the nursing homes were still allowing people to come in, but they had to be tested negative. This lady, she started talking to me. I just happened to ask her how was she and if it was something special she was doing today and why did she come to get tested or if she was having any symptoms. As I asked that, she just opened up. She said she's going to see her mom who's 90 years old. She lives in a nursing home. And she said she has to get tested every day if she has to go and see her every day. But at the moment, she's going 3 times a week to see her mom. And she's getting 3 times tested for COVID, which in a sense was a good thing for the protection of the community, protection of the people living in the nursing home, and the protection for general public and people who are going to visit them. But I could see that distress in her eyes. She had tears when she was talking to me. And as I tested her, as I did her test, asked her that she's ready to go. While she was ready to go, I said, "Will you say hello to your mom from me?" And I am getting teary eyes just thinking about it. And that lady, she looked at me and she had eyes full of tears. And she said, "You know what? No one has ever said that to me. I have been coming to get tested for so many days. No one has ever said this thing to me." And she literally wanted to hug me, but we couldn't because of obviously the restrictions with the COVID. But she had smile on her face through tears in her eyes, and she said she will definitely say hello from me to her mom. And that was something that touched me so deeply. What do we need? Just few kind words, nothing else. Second scenario, a young girl came to get tested. And as I was explaining to her the procedure, how I was going to perform the test, she started kind of shaking. I said, "Are you okay?" She said, "I'm very anxious." I said, "What are you anxious about?" And then she said, "It's not just the test. She has anxiety in general." And then, being a mental health nurse, I started listening to her, and then I started sharing my experience with her. I started sharing some coping strategies for the anxiety that she could use. I held her hand. Obviously, I had gloves on. I held her hand and I asked her to, while holding my hand, to take some deep breaths. Let herself know that she is safe. She did that for a couple of minutes and then she was like, she's ready to get tested. I did the test. She had tears in her eyes. She said, "You are so kind." I said, "Well, I am a nurse." That made her smile, but she said, "Not every nurse takes time to listen to us. There are not many people who are there. They will listen to you." And that touched me deeply too. But that was something that made my day, that I was able to do something for someone. Although, on the other hand, while I was doing this, while I was doing tests, I was taking swabs, I was providing the support to the people, psychological support that they needed. I was listening to how their day was going. Other people working in that same environment, they were not very happy with me because I was taking too long to do the test. Sometimes working in high stress scenarios, fast paced environment, we tend to become machines. And we sometimes forget that we are human beings. That's what I think happens to most of us. That when we are working in a fast paced environment, we are just do it, get it done, do it, get it done. Well, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't just putting swab in the nose and asking them to move, putting the swab and asking them to move. I was taking my time to listen to them, providing support, because I think being a mental health nurse, I understood that the COVID, obviously it's hitting the physical, it's hitting our bodies, but more it was hitting our mental health. It was making people more stressful. It was making people more anxious. It was making people more scared. And that part needed to take care of that as well, along with the physical side of the health. The third scenario, an elderly man. He came to get tested. I asked him why was he getting tested, or was it a routine test? He said he's going to see his dear wife in a nursing home who has dementia. I have worked with people who live with dementia for almost 6+ years, and I know the pain that the relatives, the caretakers go through. While I was doing test, I held his hand. I said, "You are brave, you are strong, you're stronger than you think, and you are a good human being that is taking risk to go see his wife, even though she doesn't even remember who he is, but he remembers that she is his wife." There are so good people in this world, so many good people in this world. All we have to do is open our eyes to them. That man thanked me for just asking him. Another scenario, I went to do the testing in a care home. This care home is for people whose families kind of don't support them. Mostly these people are elderly people, but there are young people too who don't have any homes, who don't have any families, or the families don't look after them. In this care home, one person in particular caught my attention because that person was Punjabi. It was middle-aged, and at first when I looked at him, I kind of felt shocked and thought, I wasn't judging, but the thought came to my mind, why is he here? Where is his family? Where are his kids? Why are they not taking care of him? But then obviously that wasn't my position to ask any of those questions, but they still hit me. The other thing that caught my attention was everyone in the queue standing to wait to get tested. They were kind of yelling at him, and he was just standing there lost, oblivious to everything else that's going around him. I noticed that that person isn't well. I went to him. And I asked the person who was yelling, I said, I don't think that person understands your language. Let me speak to him. So I went to this gentleman, a middle-aged man with turban. I spoke in Punjabi. I said, are you okay? Are you here to get tested? Do you have someone with you? He understood the language. He understood Punjabi. But he still wasn't very with it, from which I felt like he had some kind of cognitive decline. Maybe his memory wasn't intact. Then I asked the in charge over there who was looking after the whole clinic. I said, do you mind if I speak to this person and I take my time with him and I take the responsibility to get him tested? And she said, yeah, go ahead. And I explained to them that I speak his language. So I took him out of the queue. I made him sit down. I explained the whole procedure and I had to get his health card information. So I asked him if he has his health card with me. So innocent, so innocent. He opened his pocket in front of me and he asked me to look in his pocket. And then he picked out a wallet with cards in it and handed over to me. I looked through the wallet. I got the health card. I showed him that this is your health card. I got the information. Then I showed him back that I'm putting it back. And I put the whole wallet back into his pocket. And his pocket had only $10. That broke my heart. And then again the questions, I wish I could ask him. Where is he from? Where are his children? Does he have anyone else? By this time, a lady came to me and she started talking to him. And I asked if she knows him. She said, yeah, he's my husband. And when I was talking to this person, I could hear the other people in the queue still talking loud about this person that, oh, he always does the same. He always breaks the queue. He never lines up. He doesn't understand. He doesn't know what to do. He always goes in front of everyone, even to get lunch or dinner. And that was very, very sad for me to hear. And then again, I said to those people, I said, I don't think that person is well enough to understand. And second, he doesn't understand the language. That's why he doesn't follow the rules. But obviously, because of the stress of COVID and stress of testing and stress of everything else and stress of life in general, no one was going to listen to me what I was explaining. So I left it at that. But that scenario shook me. Why can't we look after our parents? Why can't we take care of them if we have bought them overseas? Why can't we keep them with us? If we are unable to keep them with us, why can't we let them go where they belong, where they know other people, where they can talk in their own language, where they can express their grief, where they can express their joy, where they can express themselves by talking to other people who know their language, who understand them. Why can't we be kind? Now there was another scenario which kind of brought a twist to us as nurses. This was one gentleman and his big truck and whole family in the truck. He moved in, he came to the first desk, he honked the horn, he said, large cappuccino please. And we said, we only have mediums. So that was kind of, because he was driving through, he acted as if he was ordering a coffee through the drive-through. But there are some people who are keeping the jovial inside them. They can bring that side of them out even in stressful situations. They can make everyone else smile. They can bright someone's day. They can be the candle in the darkness. I wish we all can be that candle, that light to someone else's life, at least once in a day. Make someone else smile, make someone else laugh. Now, these were most of the scenarios in the testing centers. I also worked in vaccine clinics where we were giving COVID vaccines. And there were different kinds of people. As you all know, some people were opposed to vaccines, some people were in favor of vaccines, but because of the restrictions that you can't travel without the vaccine, so some people who were even opposed to the vaccination, they still had to come to get vaccines. And this is one person who came, explained everything to them about the vaccine, and they were still very sarcastic, and they were like, so what poison are you gonna inject me today with? And I just had to smile. Do you want to take the vaccine? So I just wanted to make sure. He said, yeah, I have to take it because I have to travel. And then there was this little kid who came for the vaccine when the vaccines were available for the children. I spent almost 30 minutes trying to make him. I took almost 30 minutes trying to reassure him, kept talking to him, and finally I was able to give him the shot. And as soon as he got the shot, he was like, yay, I got it. He was so happy, as if he has won something. And then after waiting for 15-20 minutes, I checked, he was fine. I let him go, and as he was going, he was looking back at me with so big smile on his face, and he was giving me thumbs up. And his mom came to me. She said, thank you so much. This was our 4th time bringing him to the clinic. Bless our children. Mental health is very important part of our health. Where these viruses attack our bodies, they also make us suffer through our mental health challenges. The reason of me sharing these scenarios with you is that sometimes we forget that people, when they are dealing with physical ailments, this part is also getting affected. If we can take little bit time, if we can just take few minutes to talk to them, to ask them how their day is going, to provide them just focused listening, it helps them to alleviate their fear, it helps them to relieve their stress, it helps them to make them feel better. It helps them to feel good from within. So let's all be kind. Let's all be loving. And you don't have to be a mental health nurse to listen to someone. You don't have to be a nurse to be kind to anyone. We are human beings. Love and kindness is our true nature. So let's bring that true nature out till we meet again. Keep smiling.